Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Welcome, welcome to all the guests from near and far. Who do we have? Who's Mamish new? Are you new? How do you go by now? Pinchas, Avada, Shini Hashem, K'moshe Tzorich.
Pinchas is new.
No, he's not new as Pinchas. He's Pinchas already for like 3 years. More? 3 years. You see that? I got it, exactly. No, he's always Pinchas. Rabbi Isai, he's our Satmar Chassid friend. The one talking, you'll see. What's his...
Good morning, Rabbi Eli. Okimo is not Park City, but we're still doing the daf here. Akiva is hopefully going to join us soon. And we got Yitziu starting today the daf.
And I'm skiing without poles.
Oh, without poles. What's his name again? Chaim Eisels. Dear Belly, we're reaching out on behalf of our son Shayed. Oh, the famous Shayed. Shayed was thrilled to meet you by the Malav Malket, the Shabbaton. Shayed is a wonderful young man. The Torah became his thing when he was introduced to Yeshir. Shayed is enthralled. He's not missed a day since August. The entire day is before, after, in the middle of the daf. We're so proud of him. Kush Baruch Hu repay you for all that you do for our Shayed and for Klal Yisrael. Thank you again, Mr. and Mrs. Gottman from Williamsburg, New York. Yishkoyach. Yeah, Yishkoyach for also the donation. He gave us a donation at the Shabbaton. This is from Eva Grumfeld. I'm sending a picture of my husband, Yaakov ben Rivka Henach. Yeah? Henche. Yaakov ben Rivka Henche, who was stricken with the dreaded disease called ALS about 4 years ago. Slowly he lost his ability to talk, eat, breathe without a trachea, and use even a single muscle in his body except for his eyes. He was taught to use an eye gaze gadget, which he's able to communicate minimally by using his eyes to spell out words. In this picture, you can see that he's watching your wonderful Daf Yomi shir. Very often, I sit with him while he's learning, and even I find it interesting. Learning with you has become a very important part of his day, and while we don't know for sure, we can only assume that he's enjoying it a lot, and that is the reason for my writing to you, to give a big Yeshar. All his life, he's 77, bis 120. He never missed a day of learning. Besides doing the daf, he woke up at 5 a.m. every day and started his day learning and finished after a day of work learning. Thank you again. Wow. My name is Nusi Ginot. I want to share something about my nephew, Kalmi Berkowitz. Kalmi is 10 years old and Baruch Hashem, a cancer survivor. During his illness and going through chemo, he missed an entire year of yeshiva. Now that he's back in yeshiva, he's really trying to learn to catch up. But understanding Gemara has been very hard for him. It often leaves him feeling discouraged and upset, even though he wants so badly to succeed. The only place where we see a real change is when he watches MDY, and he watches every day. When Kami listens to you, something finally makes sense to him. He understands what's going on. He can see the difference right away. He feels proud of himself, excited about learning in a way we haven't seen anywhere else. I wanted to ask, Avada, you have to say Shalom Aleichem to Kalmi. Shkoyach Kalmi. Very proud of you, Kalmi. Forget the yeshiva, we have a cheder. We have an elementary school. All these guys. How many? Whoa, look at how, Baruch Hashem, we have a bunch of kids here.
It's good, there's kids.
This is more than a minion of kids, I think.
I see the wheels turning. It's good, there's kids.
I just counted 13 kids in my head. You're not allowed to count. Well, man, who are the 2 kids that cleaned up the floor today? You, what's your name? Well, man, you were at the shir last night? No. Wow, what's going on here? There's more kids than adults, I think. Wow. What? You also cleaned? What's your name? Your brothers? You're not related. Cousins. Shkoyach. Thank you. Very nice. You have no idea how much you're in our home. I want to thank you for everything you do for Klal Yisrael. Thank you so much for taking the time to read this. Much appreciated. Nusi Ginot. Rabbi said the official edition anyway Shas, the Daf, is sponsored anonymous. Nishmas Achoysi Mors Gule Yocheved Basli Sheva Shalom. Niftara Shabbos Kodesh Chav Gimel Adar Tovshin Ayin Ches. The official edition MDY Shas Masechta by the Iranian Levi family's Perik Anonymous. Lili Nishmas Zachariah Ben Moshe. Masechta sponsor David Solomon. Dedicated memory of Avi Merib Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi Zechron Levracha. Mesechta sponsors Joel Gedalis, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalis. Anonymous. Haslacha Baruch Nis Uvagashmis. The Palchik Family Foundation. Lezech Nishmas Harav Agoy Reb Shlomi Palchik. The Metchetzer Eloi. Anonymous, Refuah Shlema LaMoshe Ben Izaha. Anonymous for a complete Refuah Shlema and Arichas Yom Talea Bas Esther Yisrael and Malki. Toili Torahs Picho Malfi Zav Chesed. We're so proud of you, Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Send the Gross and family. Canby Island, UK, in honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almighty. Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Oiskim B'Tzorchi MDY. Kosh Baruch Hu Shalom Scharim. Monthly sponsors: Ari Simon, Refuah Shlema Avi Mori Baruch Ben Miriam, Jamie Azulai, Refuah Shlema Esther Bas Luna, Moshe Aaron, and Miriam Landi. Hoidel Hashem Kitov. Kilo, Oilam Chazdo, Anonymous, L'Refuah Shlema Naftali Herzben, Henya Leah, Hidden Tzaddik in our generation. Anonymous in memory of Mazal, Bat Leah, Besanada, and Hiskia. Anonymous, L'Schus, a verdict that is good and open and revealed way. For Yosef Mordechai ben Bat Yeleah, Yehudas and Yehuda Lewis as a schus for everyone in need of a shidduch. Amen. Anonymous for the merit of Michal ben Yisrael Yosef, success and blessing in all areas of life. Sprinzin Allen Gross, Lilishma Shlomo Zalman ben Yitzchok Isaac ben Yomen Isaac ben Tzvi Hirsch HaKoyer for Shlomo Yehonatan Eitan ben Besheva Bracha. Anonymous for the merit of Refuah Shlema from Malka Bas Chaya, Centers.com, helping Yidden David Tzibor with pop-up minyanim anywhere worldwide. Lili Nishmas Chaim Shalom ben Betzalel. Weekly sponsors: Alex, Abby, and Rivka Sarugo. To Isaac and Diana Bemurgi, your love and support mean everything to us. We love you. MDY Art Month. Yosef ben Chai sorry for Parnasah Berevach. Refuah Shlema Yonatan Eitan ben Besheva Bracha. Refuah Shlema Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Hayeled Daniel Zev ben Hayeled Esther. And only one sponsor, by the one and only, Mark Ashkenazi. This was my grandfather. Moirenu, Rabbi Yisrael ben Achav Rabbi Yosef Rothschild on his 37th yard side. And Naskin, who finished Shas 8 times. And also I know that he finished Shas Mishnayis 63 times. Wow. 63 times. That's 63 times more than I did. And after World War II, fought for and achieved major enhancements to Shechit in America. And now we understand why his grandson, Mark, Zoicha, to be such a big part of bringing people to Torah.
Remarkable guy.
Zok the Heilige Gemara. I got a beautiful message from Rabbi Ari Ben Shushan this morning. Basically, he's saying that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me Siyata Shmaya, which is true. To explain yesterday's shir, it was his favorite shir of all time because it was a difficult sugya, and he walked away with a smile. And it's true. Sometimes the Rebbeinu Shalom, a lot of times, like I come to the shir and like, how am I going to explain it exactly? And something like a certain, and I feel it's like Siyata Shmaya. That's Siyata Shmaya. Like I don't have a good story to say over a good joke, and then somebody does something dumb middle shir, and then it becomes like it's like a Siyata Shmaya. You know what I mean? It's like no bemis. Something important. Or Pincha shows up, and it's like So we need to finish this sugya to the bottom. Today it's one of these amazing sugyas on Chav Daled, question after question and picture after picture, design after design, like where everything is so clear with the art. And we need to finish up the sugya of Min B'Minoi. And I just think a very short review. I did not show this thing yesterday, Meroiv. We had a lot of stuff going on. I'll show it to you today. Min B'Minoi. If they look the same, it's from the same family. So even if like one is treif, one is not treif, we had a whole shiloh about that. Anyways, this is Min B'Mino, yeah? It's the same type of meat, but then we spoke about yesterday that maybe Nevel is different than Shchuta, etc. Fine. I'll go upon him. What we saw yesterday is that, not really even 2 days ago maybe, that Min B'Minoi, according to Rabbi Yehuda, is loy batal. So if it's loy batal, meaning, whoa, I don't know what just happened. It went flying 5 ahead. According to Rabbi Yehuda, Min B'Minoi, if it's the same type of food, there's no bittul, it doesn't become batal. So Mela, everything in the pot is treif, is tamei. According to Rabbanan, Min B'Minoi is batal, so then everything would be kosher would be batal because you have two koshers versus one non-kosher. They're the roiv, they're the majority, they overcome it. And then we saw Reb Chia. Reb Chia says that one is mevatel the other, only in one direction. We don't know exactly what. And then we had a machlokes in Reb Chia, what direction. So basically, Reb Chia says we always look at the mevatel. We look at the mevatel is the roiv, is the shark, the larger item, the majority. You always look at the majority, you don't look at the minority. And if the mevatel cannot change its status, then there's no change. And then if you look at this picture right over here, since we're looking at the mevatel in this case is the kosher, and the kosher is 2 versus 1. That's why it's the mevatel. It can't change. Kosher can never be non-kosher, and therefore we have 2 items in the same pot. We have kosher and non-kosher. So you have min b'she'enim minoi. What happens when you have 2 different items in the same pot? The majority wins, and therefore all 3 of them become non-tameh. They'll remove the tumah from the tameh guy. According to Rav Chanina, it's the opposite. Our focus is one. Our focus is on the batal, on the minority, not on the majority. And then we have to ask ourselves, can the minority become like the majority? So in this case, the minority could become like the majority because tameh meat can eventually become non-tameh just by siracha and decomposing, whatever the word is, rotting. And therefore, it's counterintuitive. The whole thing is counterintuitive. Since it rots, it's going to become like the others. And if it becomes like the others, then you have min b'minoi. And min b'minoi is not batal. According to Rabbi Yehuda, yeah. Well, according to Rabbi Chia. The new sheet, they're called Rabbi Chia.
It's also used purely for Tumat Tahara. It's not for kashrus, for eating.
Yeah, I said it 3 times, but those of you want to emphasize it a 4th time, that's fine. Let's give up. Yesterday you also emphasized it, and today again, Seder. I got it. Okay. Says the Gemara, he had an issue with it. He was like, it wasn't going well for him, so he figured the other people also. I'm asking. What? You also had the issue.
Now I've got it.
Now you got it. Says the Gemara Tashma. Can we see from our Mishnah one way or the other? Nisarev kumtza b'shirayim. If the kaimetz over here, the kmitza on the top left corner, you took the kmitza out and it fell back in. Or shel chaverta, different girsa, oy b'shel chaverta. The point is, in the Mishnah it says oy b'shel chaverta, the kmitza fell back into either its own bowl or to another minchas bowl. And now you have a problem. You cannot put this large bowl of shirayim onto the mizbeach because it's osur to put shirayim on the mizbeach. Once you take kmitza, it's osur. So, what do? You don't do anything. Now, the guy went ahead and he put it on the mizbeach. B'mikter also l'baylam. Now, let's think about it for a second. Can the kmitza... Okay, so first of all, what's the mevatel, what's the batal over here? Obviously, the mevatel is the majority, the larger piece, so that would be the shirayim. Shirayim, there's plenty of seats out there. Come on in. Yeah, here's 1, 2, 3. Come sit next to me. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? From where? Shalom Aleichem. So again, don't get scared. It's not gonna be the whole Masechta. It's for another 5 minutes, and then we're done with this sugya. On to the fun stuff, easy stuff. So again, so when we finish off the sugya, let's finish off on a high. So at least we know some stuff. A mevatel is the larger piece. So in this case, it's the shirayim. The batal is the smaller piece. In this case, it's the kmitza. Now, let's think about it for a second. We had a machlokes. According to Rav Chizda, we go by the mevatel. According to Rav Chanina, we go by the batal. Can the mevatel ever become a kmitza? Rabbi Yisai, you don't all have to answer in one shot. Can the shirayim ever become a kmitza once you took the kmitza out of there? No. So Mela, it cannot become the kmitza, so it stays as is. So it's shirayim. Okay. Then what about the kmitza? Could the kmitza ever become a shirayim? No. Okay. So it says Gemara v'hacha. The loy have him mevatel kebatel. The shirayim can never become a kmitza. And they stick in here, and the kmitza can never become a shirayim. V'loy kol mevatel shirayim l'koyim. So we have a problem. If, let's do this again slowly. This is the last, second to last time. If the mevatel cannot be like the batel, the mevatel can never change into a kmitza. So how many minim do we have over here on this thing? We have two minim. We have min b'sheina minoi. What happens when you have two minim, min b'sheina minoi? It's mevatel it. It is mevatel it. So what should happen here? The shirayim should overcome the kmitza and destroy the kmitza. Yet you told me that if you put it on the mizbeach, it's good. You shouldn't, but if you did, it's okay. And the same thing in reverse. Mani, Rabbanon, it can't be Rabbanon. Because Rabbanon say that only oilin is not mevatel one another, but this should be mevatel. So it should be mevatel. It should be mevatel so you don't have a kmitza. And even according to Rav Chizda or Rav Chanina, both of them, we should have a problem that one is mevatel the other, and therefore the kmitza should be gone. You have a roiv, this is the Torah says, you go by the majority. So you have a giant piece of shirayim, should overcome the small tiny piece of kmitza, it should destroy him, and there's zero kmitza here. So why are you telling me that if the kohen by mistake put it back on the mizbeach, the guy doesn't have to bring another mincha? He has to bring another mincha. He wasn't yotz's mincha. Says the Gemara, I'll tell you why. Very simple. We said it 3 times. You're going to say it again. Omer Reb Zer nemrak Torah b'koymetz v'nemrak Torah b'shirayim. Ma'ak Torah amura b'koymetz and koymetz v'vadas chaveroi. Avak Torah amura b'shirayim and shirayim v'vadas koymetz. Says the Gemara, there's a special chiddush when it comes to shirayim and kmitza. One cannot overcome the other. Why? Xeris akasa. Finished. Great kasha, but there's a pasuk. Tashma. And here, finally, we're jumping to another sugya, which is interesting. Tibla beketzach. You take up matzah. By the way, these two things, I don't want to, this I did this morning, and this morning, just as Yotze Zayin, like in the olden days, not Yoshi style, okay? So don't know Aris on the art, okay? He can do 1,000 times better. Just so there should be one visual. Last night there was no visual, so I was like, okay. He takes a matzah, which is tiny, and he loads it up with a bunch of ketzach, which is on top, some fennel, and a bunch of sesame. Okay, doesn't matter what. He filled it up. He just rolled it into the spices, and there's more spices than matzah. So what's the mevatel? Spices. What's the batel? The matzah. What does it say? All sorts of. He made it mamish a spicy matzah. Ksheira. It's a good matzah. You eat on Pesach night. Matzah, el shenikus matzah metubelas. It's a spicy matzah. It's a bunch of spices. Now, I would think just pay attention here, not to get confused. There's the word apish appears twice over here. One is with the aleph and one is with the ayin. The one with the aleph means more. The one with the ayin means spoiled. So not to get confused. Because the apish lo tval and tvei matzah. The havamina is there's a lot more spices than matzah, and therefore the spices are the mevatel. According to Reb Chanina, that says we go by the bottle, so we're going to go by the matzah. Bottle havikim mevatel. You know what? The matzah, it works out great. Why? Because everything's counterintuitive. So the matzah will become bottle to the spices. Why? Because eventually matzah can become like a spice, similar to the meat. When it decomposes, when it gets ruined, it could flip into spices. So now what happens when it flips into spices? We have only one min. What's the one min? Spices. And what happens when you have one min? It's not bottle. So then you have a good matzah. It's mamish counterintuitive. Everything's counterintuitive. When it gets spoiled, here's with the ayin. Then it'll turn into spices. But if you say we go by the spices, the larger item, which is the spices, the spices can never turn into matzah. And if they can never turn to matzah, it becomes what? Min B'she'einoi minoi. It's two different things. The spices and the matzah, different things. Oh, when you have two different spices, two different meaning, what happens? Becomes bottle. So now you don't have a matzah. So you didn't eat matzah on Leil Seder. Says Gemara, you read it wrong. It's not that it is more spices. It almost doesn't make sense. It should be more spices than the actual matzah. Deruba matzi, no. What happened was there's a lot more matzah than spices. Like in Amin, it even says the matzi. We call it a matzah. El shenikris matzah mitubels. It's called a spicy matzah, but it's not spices with matzah. It's not croutons with soup. It's soup with croutons. Yeah, it's a big enough community. Yeah, depends. In my mishpach, it's croutons with soup. I don't know how it works by you. My wife brings out the croutons and I pour a little soup into it and we eat. That's how it goes. What? That's the advertising. One of the best advertisements of all time. Wow. It's beautiful. Those who know. Those who snack on croutons. I don't know if the Oilam's not even old enough to remember. There used to be two sizes of croutons of Osam. The Oilam remembers. Okay, so it's not so long ago. When I was a kid, it used to come in a brown box, and not in a plastic container, in little boxes. That you don't remember. We used to walk to the Makola and buy it. Yeah. Like in Amin Dikdoni Matzoi, and they used to make it in Bnei Brak on I forgot the name of the street, on my aunt's street. Like her building was here, and then there's an awesome building, Smacking Mill. No. What was it? I can't believe my...
Across the street from the fire department. Shomer.
No. It was down at Shomer, and you make a left. Okay, let me show you. Back in Avi Dikdoni, they sold it and they built 100 apartments there. Back in Avi Dikdoni Matzi, El Shenikis Matzim Tubela Shmamino. Rabbi say, here we go. Here's the easy stuff. Put on, you're going to love this, like Shein Kamayu. You're going to see why AI was created and why AI is so beautiful. Rav Kahana, Ashkechinu Livnei Rebchia. When Rav Kahana made Aliyah, so Tosfos says he made it twice. He went to learn Torah once, and then he became, later on he went back to Eretz Yisrael. He bumps into Reb Chia's two sons. We just mentioned Reb Chia. We had a machlokes, Reb Chizda and Reb Chanina in Reb Chia. Over here, Reb Chia, who wrote the Brises, he had two sons that were twins. What were their names? Yehuda and Chizkiah. Yehuda Chizkiah. Bumps into the twins. The Yazvik Amri. They were saying, Isarein shechilkoi v'hinichoi bebisa. A mincha consists of one isarein. Rabbi say, take a look. Everything is so clear. Kommt ran. Wie sie heißt die? From Vanen? Oh, Shalom Aleichem. We have a seat over here. UK. Close.
You know this guy who used to came from country to travel now?
Yeah. That's your brother. So you figured if he could travel 8-9 hours, he could travel an hour and a half too. Yeah. B'schisim. Send him regards. I haven't seen him in a while.
He just got engaged.
That's why. B'schizeh. Mazel tov. Send him regards. Okay. You came just in time because now it's easy shmizi. No more min b'minoi bottle. No more trauma. Rabbi say, here goes. Take a look. I didn't hear the joke. What was the joke?
His brother at least comes on time.
Okay. Rabbi say, what do we have in this bowl? We have a single mincha made of one isarein, divided in two. Okay? Here's the question. Take a look at the screen. A tvul yom. Tvul yom means somebody that went to the mikvah today, but he's not completely tar. So anything he touches becomes pasul. Not tamei becomes pasul. The question is, can the tumah travel from one to the other? Why? Because it's in the same container, it's in the same bowl, in the same kli. Does it travel or not? He took one isar, one mincha, divided in two. They actually, as the Gemara is going to explain later, they actually have a connection to each other because they come from the same mincha. It's the same mincha. Again, I didn't show the whole video of Tvul Yom. It's not necessary. You guys already know. Once in a while, we'll show it. A guy has tumah. He goes to the mikvah at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. When he comes out of the mikvah, it removes part of the tumah, but he's still somewhat tamei. He has to wait until that night, Erev Shemesh. But until he waits, he has enough tumah in him to make things pasul, not tamei pasul. Kitnan kli mitzarev mash b'toichel l'kodesh. Hanimili heichel denagi ba'adadi. Here's a nice something to think about. I'm not even going to talk about it full yom. A regular person who's tamei. Let's say a guy goes he went to Levaya, touched a dead person, and it's Tu B'Shvat, and there's a giant platter of fruit, and he touches the center fruit. What happens halachically right now at that moment? The fruit becomes tummy. The one that he touched becomes tummy. Yeah. They were mushal kabel tummy. Yeah. Your wife rinsed them all off in the sink so that it should be nice and healthy. Yeah, the guy touched the center apple. What happens? I'll tell you what happens. It becomes a rishon. What about the fruit that touches it? What are they? Do they come anything? They become a sheni. What about the fruit that touched the sheni? They do not become shlishi. They do not even kachim, nothing. It stops at sheni. Now, this is true for tamei. This is true for things that are touching each other. They're tightly touching each other. We're talking about something different. We're talking about a tvul yom, not a guy who's tamei. It's a tvul yom. He only has a minimal amount of tumatim, and he didn't touch the two pieces of dough are not touching each other, but they happen to be in the same kli. So says the Mishnah, says the Gemara, this is how we said that a one vessel could bring everything together for kachim, to ruin it for kachim. This is when they're all touching each other. But in our case, like you see on the screen, they're not touching each other. Like maybe one should not make the other one tamei. Perhaps there is no difference. The idea is that the kli brings them together, and you touch one, you touch them all.
If there was no kli?
No. So how's it going to travel?
No, it's touching.
Touching, yeah.
Each one goes down.
Yeah. You say because it's a tvul yom? Because it's tvul yom? No. If they're touching each other, it's one piece. It's one piece. If they're touching each other, it's one. It's one piece of dough. Right.
You don't need a kli mitzaref.
Right, but that's more for fruit. That's for other separate items. Over here, it's like dough. So if it's touching. It's one piece. Says the Gemara, Omer lo iu. So Rav Kahana tells him, mitnan kli mechaber. It doesn't say kli's mechaber. Kli mitzaref. It says a kli combines the two. Not kol do. So even if they're not touching each other, that's mitzaref. Just when I read this, I thought about this thing. It just happens. I'll tell you. I said it just recently also, but I just asked my father. Lived to 120. I spent some time with him in New York in the same house. I got to ask him. I said, "Are you masking to me? The reason why you perhaps sent me to all these different chadarim. I went to Darchei Torah, which is a regular Litvish. You could call it a regular Litvish school. Then all of a sudden I went to Menachos and Karlin and Skver, and then I go to Panovich and all these different places. Then I lived in Lincolnwood, so most of my neighbors were modern Orthodox for many years. And then all these things, I said, are you asking to me that this all happened because I was going to be a Magid and I needed to speak Yiddish and get along with all the modern Orthodox and get along with Charedim, understand Charedim, not get along, understand them. And so he said 100%. He says, I didn't send you to these schools because Baruch sent you to these places. 100%. I'm asking him 100%. I have zero tightness on him, and I don't think I have any trauma from it. Maybe I do deep down, who knows? But that's not the point. The point is that it helped me for Levi. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. Psuras Toivus. Overlo. So, Akoponim. No, I was saying this is Mitzaref, this thing that it took me, I'm not exaggerating, it took me 45 years to understand this thing. You hear this? It took me 45 years to chap. You went to different schools.
Explain to me why I went to Menachos. I get you.
You went to Menachos?
Also,
And Breslov. Okay, that's most people only last for 3. Okay, fine.
That's probably why you get along with everybody so well.
That's why we get along. We get along because we both went to Menachos. This is what I'm talking about, the Siyata Shemaida, because Baruch gave you okay, fine. No, seriously. Anyways, no, one day, it's mitzaref. All these things, why you went through this trauma, and why you lived in over here, and why it happened over there, and why you married this person. I call everything mitzaref at that. I call upon him. Nan, call it, fine. Listen to this next case. Rabbi said it's all gewaldig. Take a look at this. It's all. This is for pre-1Ers could understand this. These are the two pieces of your mincha. You go ahead and introduce a brand new piece from a different mincha. This third piece has nothing to do with it. It makes a big enough community, says the Gemara. Why? You put a third piece in there between them. When you need that vessel, when they're connected, the first mincha they're all connected. It's the But your visitor here, that little piece, the third piece in the middle, the purple one, you have no connection to the other guys. Maybe it doesn't really help you at all. There's a fascinating halacha that everybody should know about. I think it's very important. It's mamish negel l'maisa. Where do you have Menachem Ateh? He kind of. I asked the question yesterday. Where do you have this halacha of kli mitzarev? That a kli, a vessel's mitzarev. Zman hazeh for us today. Who said challah? Why? How? How does it work?
You have two separate batches. You put them together. One thing makes your challah.
Oh. So I have a, that's what Menachem Ateh says. Okay, mechaven. I have a better one. It's that. But mamish negel l'maisa. When your wife bakes, let's say for Purim, she makes a bunch of cakes for Shalchmanos, and she puts it in the freezer. Oh, she does a little cake. It's not. There's no challah. Another cake, no challah. But you put it in the freezer. The freezer is a kli, and it puts it all together, and suddenly you're chayav b'challah. Again, ask your rabbi. It could be if you put it in a box, it's different. Put it in a plastic bag, it's like this. There is what you wrote about it. In the same drawer. In the same drawer, in the same freezer. Fine, whatever. You got the idea. This idea that a kli could be mitzvah of something that you had no idea. You had no clue. Right now I'm not chayav challah. Tomorrow I'm not chayav challah. But on the third day, when you put the third cake into that one drawer, or some people have just a giant chest freezer, I don't know what, and boof, the kli is mitzvah. Okay, go ask your local rabbi. Call upon him. Oh, so ain't so kli mitzvah we said already. Mamish the parshas Shavua kishachol b'leiva. That Har Sinai was the kli that brought all of Klal Yisrael together. We're all there. We're all one. Huh? Mamish agigis, gewaldig, yishkoyach. Mamish like a barrel. We were in one kli. That kli is mitzaref us. So we all became one. Gewaldig. Who's the guest? Where do we have guests? We have more guests? Who? No, those we said already. They're the third day. Oh, Shalom Aleichem, all the way in the corner back. What's your name?
Meir Silver.
From where?
From Rehov Yavne.
Where's that? In Bet Shemesh? Shalom Aleichem. Welcome. In the Friday neighborhood like you. I didn't say it, you said it. I didn't you don't know what I'm thinking. If you knew what I was thinking, you'd get up and leave by yourself before I have the people get Fine. Wow. Check this out. Rabbi say, here we go. I mean, this is, you don't need a drawing for this, but once we have it, we have it. All he does is he puts his finger in between. We're just going to learn Yisraelis and Musagim. There is a concept called Avir, here like this. Let's say you have a sheretz, avatuma, happens to go into the airspace of an earthenware vessel, like the oven. So everything in the oven itself becomes a rishon. Everything in the oven steps down one madrega, becomes a sheni. And now the sheni, if it touches something else, it becomes a shlishi for touching or whatever. Shuman touching. Okay, but that halach is only with a sheretz in earthenware, not a tful yaim in a random kli. Hadar iyu boy minayu. So now Rav Kahana asked Chizkiah and Rav Yehuda, Ma'u likmois mizeh al zeh. It's a very similar question that we had before. what can you do kmitza? Let's say we have this case, right? So the first question we had is if a tvul yom touches A, does B become tamei? Now the question is very similar. If the owner or the kohen takes a kmitza from A, from the right side, is it good enough for the kmitza, as if you did a kmitza on the left side? What's the question? Because before we were talking about making both of them tamei, so okay, I could be a big machmer, it's not a big deal. Toss it. The Rav will tell you, yeah, it's tamei. But now you have to do a kula. You have to now you have to have wide shoulders. You have to say, look, you did a kmitza on the right one, it works on the left one, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go bring another mincha. That's already a kula. Tzir of Doiraisa Derabbanan. Is the tzir so strong as Doiraisa that you could use it even likula? Or no, the whole tzir is only the Rabbanan thing. It's a chumrah when it comes to kachim and you throw out the dough. We don't know the answer. We heard something similar to Snan. This is the case that we spoke about a number of times. Here, let me show you just the beginning of it, but we improved it a lot. Over here you have two menachos, the one on the right, the one on the left. So what does the Mishnah tell us? Take a kmitza from both. Okay, I told him he doesn't have to worry about it. Take a kmitza from both. The problem is, take a look. Now, look at this. This is the improved version. Only for illustrative purposes, there are two separate colors. So you took the two menachos and you mix them together. What could possibly happen? That part of one mincha is completely isolated. The blue, that little island over there, blue island, and the pink, is isolated. It's not even touching the rest of the blue. And the pink also, there's a part of the pink, let's say. We don't even have to go there. Let's focus on the blue. And what does the Mishnah tell us? Take a kmitza from the blue. Take a kmitza from the pink. It's not a problem. Take a kmitza from both of them and you're good. But how could you do that? Part of it is missing. In order to take kmitza, you have to have a full isaron of a mincha. A tiny part of it is an island somewhere else. If they were touching all the way along, Givaldik. But they're not. It's literally our case. We have piece A and piece B. They're not touching. Over here you see that you can take a mincha from one and it applies to the island blue and the pink over there. As the Gemara, but if you could do kmitza from the blue part, it's kosher. But there's a piece somewhere. It has to be. If you did a nice mix, it's going to be a piece that's not touching the rest of it. There are some people in this room, like Noah Menavi, don't know what a masrik is. So if it's like a comb, what does that mean? That it's not literally, it's mixed, but every piece is touching each other. We don't have an isolated piece somewhere. That's why the Mishnah says, take a kmitza from the blue, take a kmitza from the pink.
Looks like our two heads.
Maybe ready to start.
At the end of the day, if you have two pieces of one mincha, could you take a kmitza from the other? The Sanya. It says in the pasuk, you should take a kmitza from it. Mina mechuber, they have to be connected. That what? Shalayavi is the very, very simple inference here. Shalayavi yisar mishnei kelim b'yikmoitz. If it's in two separate vessels, you cannot take a kmitza. Very simple. Mashma habikli echad dumiyad d'shnei kelim comments. If it's in one vessel, two pieces in one vessel, that's okay. It says, do not take from two separate kelim. You have half a mincha in one, half a mincha in the other. You cannot take a kmitza now because they're divided by two kelim. But if they're in one kli, just divided, then it will be okay. So for this, you really need AI, I believe, because it's difficult. I tried to explain it yesterday in Hebrew before. I was trying to tell them Israelis they don't really use that cake. I don't know what it's called in English even, but when you make chocolate cake and it has that centerpiece. A bun cake. Yeah, they had no clue. I don't even know that. Okay, bun cake. So I was like, it's like a bun cake. It's like the center part is another kli. I'm trying to describe that. So I think this is beautiful. This really works so well. Here it is. And it really should be gold. Pretend it's gold, silver. We didn't have time to switch. I asked them to switch. Fine. Gold. But take a look. It's unbelievable. I'm so excited about this. Look at this. He filled it up with the kapiza is the middle part, the outside is kava. Fine. But look at this. He fills it up with flour. So the center is really isolated from everything else, but it's touching on top. Is that considered touching or not? The answer is it's not touching. You know why? It's above the kli. Take a look. Look, it gets better. It's a Here's a side view. The walls in the center are completely separating all the flour from each other. Where is it connected? On top of but it's already above the rim. It's above the rim, so it doesn't work. Oh, he said this is the, okay, somebody threw this in. Yeah, we had a bunch of times that above the kli is not, I would like it was hard to manipulate those middle mechitzas. It's slightly higher, a couple centimeters higher. But you get the point. All the mechitzas of the same height, the flour in the center is isolated. That's 2 kalim. On top, it's touching. It's not touching because it's above the kli. So says the Gemara, and where is it, yes, touching? When the walls in the center are lower down. Even though they're mixed on top, given the mifsak mechitza, since the mechitza is a massive, that's a real mechitza, like a super duper from mechitza that you can't look from one side to the other. The kapiza mitato. So memela, you cannot do kmitza like this. You would not be able to take kmitza from one of those compartments because the mincha is separated completely. It's like 3 different kalim. That we already said that if the mincha is in 2 kalim, you cannot take kmitza from the. This is like 2 in 1 kalim. It's like tricky, but halachically, this is not considered 1 kli. This is considered 2 kalim. Where do we have this exact case that it's 2 kalim, one within inside the other, but it does work? Very simple. What's the case? Look, this is all drawn by hand. I'm not kidding. I saw the original picture. But now it looks real. Now, the water and the feed is separated by a lower wall. You see that wall? That wall is lower than the outside walls. So now the water and the feed, if they would pile up like this, take a look. Oh, here you have such a thing. You have a wall in the kli, but if you pile up flour and the flour touches on top, now it is good. Why? Because it touches on top inside the kli. Yeah? Moirdik. Even though there's a mechitza inside the kli, but lamaisa it touches. Where does it touch though? The point is it's touching inside the kli. Shalom aleichem. Wie heißt it? You. Shalom aleichem. Yeah. But by us, we're going back to our question. We still don't know, can you take kmitza from one for the other? Take a look at this. This is, it just gets better and better. How would I explain this without a I don't know. I feel bad for all the people that go to Al Shiurim. You have 3 pieces of a mincha here. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Take a look at this. Yeah, I'm going to have to apologize to the whole world. The Tvul Yoim touches 1. What happens? It automatically spreads to number 2. That we said. It's in the same kli. Spreads to number 2. But now we have water coming down. I just told him to do it in oil because it's one of the mashim. It's fine just to see it. What is that called in Gemara terms? Nitzoik. Nitzoik, it could travel up the water stream. And then it hits number 3. So now you have all 3 could be tamei. It's a question. Could number 3 outside of the kli become tamei through a nitzoik, through a stream? That's only inside the kli. It's inside the kli. Maybe it doesn't spread outside. But 2 and 3 are completely connected through electric, through a nitzoik, through a stream. Now, if in fact 2 and 3 are connected, what happens if we reverse it? Take a look. Tvul Yom comes and touches number 3. Number 3 and number 2 are connected. So they automatically, number 2 becomes tummy. And now once 2 becomes tummy, what happens? It spreads to 1.
Same level or down the level?
Same level, like before. It's all like we said before. The Tvul Yom, it all becomes purple. That's only when he touches inside the kli, it spreads to inside the kli, then it could jump up outside. But maybe it doesn't go from outside to inside. Maybe it doesn't make a difference. Teiku. Boy Rava. So the Rabbi said this is also Givaldik. Where's my tissue? Here. Let's say a Tvul Yom touches this. This becomes purple. Becomes puzzle. Now I take this and I drop it into a vessel which has another one of these. Yeah. This is already tamei, and I go like that inside a bowl. Does this become tamei? No. No. The answer is no. When I touch this, when they're both inside the same bowl, and I touch this, then this one becomes tamei. But if this one is already tamei, and I put it into the bowl, this does not become tamei. Okay? Now here's the question. Look at this. It's beautiful. Now take a look over here. You have a piece of dough. The Tvul Yom touched it. What happens if he puts it in a bowl? The other one does not become tamei. It remains green. Ask the Gemara. Now what happens if the Tvul Yom retouches it? Does the other one remain tahar or not? What's the answer? Why not? Why? Oh. So here's a beautiful concept. What did the Tvul Yom add to the purple? It was already purple. So he didn't add anything. You have to add something to the purple in order for the tumah to keep on spreading. You can't just retouch it. That's called the concept called saveya. It's satiated. It's already full up to here with tumah. You can't add any more tumah. You have a mincha, and one part the Tvul Yom touched, it became tamei. Not a Tvul Yom, tamei. Maybe we should have done it red. Maybe it would have been better, Taka, more accurate. It became tamei, and then he took it and he put it inside the bowl. No, it says because the Tvul Yom, tamei. Comes the Tvul Yom and touches it, retouches it. Mahu miamrin sav aloi tumoiloi. Do we say that the purple piece inside the bowl is already full of tumah and you can't add more? Do we say such a thing? But nan, it's murdik sugis. Sudden tamei medris va'asoy vila. And take it. Rabbi Isai, a guy's a zav. He had an emission from his body, some sort of disease he has. It's called a ziva. He becomes tamei. What kind of tumah does he become? He becomes a avatuma. Avatuma means that if he touches another human being, that person becomes tamei. If he touches any vessel, other mukalim, it's very high tumah. A rishon, if he was only a rishon, then if he touched another human being, he would not become tamei. Another klinat, he could be mitama, oichol mashkim. He could foods. There's halacha that when a zav sits on a bed, like this is our old one, it's down to show you. If he sits on a mattress, that's tumas mishkav medris, he sits on it, everything becomes tamei underneath him at the same level of tumah as himself. So he's avatuma, the mattress also becomes avatuma, provided that he sits on something that's sittable, drinkable, sittable. Not such a word, right?
It's meant for it.
Sprinkable. If it's meant for that thing, it's a couch that you're supposed to sit on. There's a couch underneath, it transfers. But if you sit on a box of cereal, it's not meant to be sitting on, so that you don't have that same tumah of avatuma. So if you have a sheet that belongs in a bed, so that's something that could become tumas mishkav, it'll become avatuma. But if you take the sheet after it becomes an avatuma, and you use it as a curtain, so now it drops the tumah. It's no longer a medrash because you decided that it's no longer a bed. It's no longer a bed sheet. It's a curtain for the wall. Curtain for the wall, it doesn't become a avatuma. It's only a rishon. So it drops down one level of tumah. Shlomo did a video here, just to. This is Kobe Sella, the famous Kobe Sella, and also Menachem Toker.
כל היסטוריה.
כוכבי אלו.
Two radio personalities here in Israel.
הצופים שלנו פה מתפוצצים וכולם שואלים מה זה העניבה הזאת של קובי סלע?
What are you wearing?
זה?
What's this tie?
טוב, זאת עניבה תודה שאתה שואל. זאת עניבה שיוצרה לרגל סיום מסכת זבחים. ומי כמוך יודע, אתה למדת מסכת זבחים וסיימת מסכת זבחים. לא יורד.
מה זאת אומרת?
נשחטה חוץ מזמנה.
יורד
או לא יורד? לא יורד. אז זהו, זה כל הדמויות מתוך המסכת של זבחים באנימציות של הרב סטפנסקי, MDY.
Okay, anyway, so based on this, we had a whole video, Lo Yored, and he showed up to both, Menachem Toker and Kobe Sella were both at our Shabbaton in America, and Kobe Sella was wearing this, and he gave me the tie. Okay, fine. Based on that, I didn't know that they were doing it, I just...
הכל היסטוריה.
Oops, sorry. Here we go. So he did like sort of like the blanket is. So here we got a zav. This guy's a zav. He's a zav walking around. So it went from a bed to a curtain. So now it drops tumah. It goes from a avat tumah, from a medrus to a rishon, to maga. Medrus to maga. My grandmother used to work in Slobodka for many years, and I heard this once that a ma'aseh shaya, that a bacher comes to yeshiva and they said, you see that curtain over there? That one is fleishiks. That one over there is milchiks, because that's the one that everybody wipes their hands on after they eat fleishiks. That's the one they wipe. Fine. Says the Gemara, Amar Rabbi Yossi, Beis Medrus Nagazeh. Oh, sorry. Medrus Soy Vilon Tarmin Medrus. Avatar Lag Medrus. If you put it down as a curtain, it drops tumah. Amar Rabbi Yossi, Beis Medrus Nagazeh. Ella Shimnoga Bayazov Tomei Maga Hazov. That if, the problem is here is in Rabbi Yossi, that if after the Zav slept on the sheet, he went and he touched the sheet, then if you remove the mishkav of it, the medrus of it, then you have maga. But the problem is, how does the Zav touch it after he slept on it? In other words, he could touch it all he wants, but why would it add tumah? It's sava, it's already satiated, it's full of tumah of the highest degree. It's tamei avatuma. So now the fact that he touched it doesn't add anything. So if you remove the medrus, you're not left with maga, because it was never. You have what I'm saying? Yeah. Where would it be a problem? It was the reverse. If the zav touched it, so then it became a lower level tuma of maga, and then he slept on it, then you add tuma to it. But if he slept on it first, he added the highest tuma, and then he went and touched it, nothing happened. According to what you're saying, according to this idea of sava, that you can't add tumah to something that's already tumah. Who told you touched it after you slept on it? Maybe he first touched it, then he slept on it. Then he added a strong tumah of avatuma to the rishon tumah. But over here, by the mincha of the Tful Yom, where, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, where he touched one. What was the case over here? Yeah, our case where this guy, where he touched it and then he put it in, then we don't say that. You didn't have over here the both tumah of Tvul Yom, so you're not supposed to change it. Leave it as the Tvul Yom. He didn't add anything when he touched the mincha. After it was already tummy, he added 0. Oh, Elo Meseva, no. So perhaps the rise from the end part. If you have two, this is not so accurate. I have to explain it. If the guy sits on an upper sheet, which touches a lower sheet, the Yashav Zav Alemi sat on it, She'el Yin Tomei Medrus. So basically, you have to explain. You have two sheets. They're not really touching each other. The Zav sits on the top one. So what happens when he sits on it? Becomes Tomei Medras. It becomes Avatuma just like him. Then his body weight lowers it and touches the one below him. So what happens? The one below him becomes just like the one above, becomes a Tomei Medras. But the Gemara says he also becomes a Maga. Why? Because it touched the one on top. But Tomei Medras Maga Medras. And touching Medras. How could the bottom one get two tumas? If it becomes medras, it becomes the highest degree of tuma, how could it also get a lower tuma? Says the Gemara is very simple. Because it happens simultaneously. What's the shayla? Over here, it was one after another. I think we will stop over here, even though I don't want to, but it finishes it at the end of it. It's easy sugya. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.